Hello and welcome to the one and most likely only video I'm going to do for this current Element Cup, because this Element Cup is just, you're going to see it anyway in the video. How you all doing? Are you going to play this cup? Are you going to play Master League? I'm playing Master League for sure. Video tomorrow for Master League going to be very good as well, because I just did all the battles for this one before as well, and I went crazy positive as well for tomorrow's team, so stay tuned for that one. But otherwise, hey, we're going to have here the beautiful little cup version for the Element Cup. So, water, grass, fire type Pokemon allowed. It's just RPS hell. Like, I cannot really say anything positive about it. Here our duck is at least kind of funny. We have the shadow variant of the duck, which is the worst variant, but I just wanted to have some fun. I didn't really care about wins at all. Like, I never really care about wins in Go Battle League. I just have some fun usually. Of course, I try to give you some very good teams, especially also now for the Master League again. For the final push, if you try to still hit Legend, that's definitely something that you can then also use the next upcoming teams for the Master League. For the first week especially, I'm going to completely try hard. I actually kind of want to see if I can get high on the leaderboards as well again in the Master League, but here for example, I'm not going to try hard too much. I kind of want to try to commentate more the battles itself, but I feel like that in Little Cup it's a little bit difficult. Like, it's not really my favorite cup. I don't think anybody's favorite cup going to be the Little Cup, but yeah, actually I like the remix variants. I like the remix variants of Little Cups a lot because they have just fast, decent, balanced metas, but like, without remix, Little Cup is always kind of iffy. Here we're going to be able to see the third rig against us, allowing us to go for one charge move here. Going to be the Sludge Bomb, and we're going to be able to get the shield. You see here already our Bulbasaur is a 100% variant. I didn't spend a single Stardust thingy here onto this team anymore. This was just everything that I have built prior already. I even built that pretty bad IV variant of the Shadow Ducklett. I have way better variants nowadays, but I'm not going to use more Stardust for this cup to build a Pokemon where the normal variant's a little bit better anyway. We see another Shadow Ducklett here against us. Honestly, guess how many Ducklett leads we saw in 15 games with this team? It were, I think, 2. Which is something that I didn't expect. I thought it would be way more. That's why we see Chinchou on our team here in the lead. I will say Sop going to be the Bulbasaur for this team, because he's going to do basic damage against anything that wants to come in. And we're going to have our Ducklett then in the back trying to sweep end game. Honestly, it didn't really work out too well, and I wouldn't really recommend you the team too much either. What I would recommend you, if you could have this one, is the Vulpix team. I think I also had like in my top team video. If not, then I can tell it to you here right now. The Vulpix team is basically Shadow Vulpix lead, Quick Attack, Body Slam, Weather Ball, then Say Swap, usually the Ducklett, but you don't really want to Say Swap at all with that team. Shadow Vulpix basically against nearly anything other than Ducklett, I think, has the option to realign correctly, or like in general basically get back switch advantage, because it just is so spammy. It does so much damage with the fast move, so much damage with the charge moves. It's definitely way better than the normal variant, which you're going to encounter here. We're going to see the normal variant of Vulpix, but we're going to most likely struggle later on against the Shadow variant as well. Thunderbolt going to most likely need a one-shot the opponent here, but 2-shot scenario Vulpix is just overpowered, but the 0-shot scenario Vulpix is not really overpowered. We're going to see a Seal coming in here. Seal has to shield something up eventually as well. Going to be the Bubble Beam here, which is going to be very good for us, because we're going to get the debuff onto the opponent. In comes Awkward Tail. We can let this move go through, and you're going to see me here go into the Ducklett, because I expect them to have the Chinchou on the back at this point of time. But we see the Icy coming through here. We can go ahead, overfarm by quite a bit, go for the Brave Bird here. Let's take a look what they're going to have on the back, as they're going to swap out now into our Bulbasaur. We're going to see the opponent's Ducklett. So we have a double duck here. The opponent has a duck. We have a duck. We are all having the crackers around here right now, allowing us to go for one Sludge Bomb against them, most likely forcing a shield here, because Sludge Bomb actually does so much damage, and it does not get the shield here. But it will allow us to hopefully go for the full farmland with our duck. Of course, they're gonna go for the Bubble Beam first. Clove went also for a Brave Bird, but it doesn't really matter anyway, as we can farm them all the way down. And next opponent, Chinchou against Execute. Execute here is going to be an issue. Execute has literally the best coverage for both of our Pokemon on our lead, as well as for Say Swap here. So we're gonna get a shield here usually, but it's still not really very beautiful for us as they're going to have a ton of energy right now. This Pokemon I also encountered I think twice in a row in Elite. It was not a lot of fun. It was not a lot of fun to battle this one. But here we're going to see a Seal coming in. They're going to go back into the Ducklett now as well. We can go for another Brave Bird. But of course, even though our V-spread for our Ducklett is not really ideal, we're still going to lose the Steam-Peter against the opponent, which is not really ideal either, as this Brave Bird going to come through. The opponent plays it out very beautifully, but of course, there's not a lot that I can do about this here anyway. Seed Bomb coming through. Going to have to shield this move up, going to have to try to get the shield from the opponent as well, and maybe survive on Seed Bomb with my Chinchou, but after seeing the damage output from the opponent here right now, I'm pretty sure that there is literally zero way for me to survive that one. And I had to try to farm all the way down, but they have so much energy already that they can go for another charge move. So very nicely played by the opponent, of course, completely hardware in the beginning. And as said before, if you have one executor or like execute, you can have also two execute. And that was back to back as well, and I was like, of course, like those Pokemon, like the Pokemon exactly that's going to hard counter me, I'm going to face twice back to back, which is really rare. I feel like to see this Pokemon lead. Usually you see it in the back there with a Slowpoke as a Safe Swap. You're going to get the Seal out of the way, and we literally get it out of the way because this Brave Bird here, they will not. Oh, never mind. They will shield. There was mostly a different battle where they didn't shield. So we're going to go ahead and have to shield up the Icy Wind from the opponent. I'm going to keep my energy alive here, but I don't think that was really a smart idea from me either. We will be able to now take the Icy Wind from the opponent coming through. They're going to go down from this Thunderbolt here for sure, but they're not going to have the best matchup for them. I mean, yeah, okay, they can go into the Execute here. Yeah, okay, there's nothing I can do here really. They're gonna go ahead and let this move go through here because they don't have a shield. They're gonna be very, very low. They're gonna go into the Ducklett though, allowing me to go for my own Ducklett. Gonna go for the Brave Bird after this Bubble Beam coming through. They have a Shadow variant. I have a Shadow variant. And I am missing out on, I think, like one fast move or something to get to another move here. No, okay, I need two more. But the opponents execute, of course, again, having too much energy here, going to be able to knock us out. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Vulpix in the late. Here we're going to see where we struggle as well with this team, and most likely, I mean, nearly every team going to struggle. Vulpix is just so strong. This thing just does so much damage. We have a water type against a fire type Pokemon still here. And yeah, the Bubble Beam doesn't do enough damage to knock the opponent out or put them even close to being in the range. And as you can see already, the opponent just doing so much damage here against us. It is just wild how strong this Pokemon is nowadays. Also got buffed with Quick Attack, of course, like long ago, of course, the Quick Attack got buffed, but yeah, you played it already before the Quick Attack buff, and now it's just even so much stronger. It is just wild. Of course, if you are into those little cubs, it's definitely worth it to get a Shadow Vulpix for this one here. I'm not gonna do it, and here we're gonna get hard walled afterwards anymore, because hey, there's not a lot that I can do here. And we can still see how much a Brave Bird does from our Ducklett against the Chinchou, and that's kind of wild to be fair. We're going to be able to farm all the way down because I guess it lagged for a little bit. I have to go for the debuffing move here because I don't get to anything else. They're going to, now, I guess I can just take this move here. Going to be definitely the Bubble Beam anyway, and it's going to be the Bubble Beam here for sure. I can go ahead and shield up the next charge move here because we're going to get too low here already. And now this next Sludge Bomb coming in here is sadly not being able to knock them out, but we're gonna put them perfectly into farmland range, exactly as we were as well. So we're going to have at least a tie here, which is kind of fine. In comes a Wooper. Wooper is not really ideal. I'm going to go straight into my best answer, which is the Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur still has some potential at least to realign some stuff here, but in comes the opponent's Vulpix. I shouldn't have used the shield. This shield didn't make sense at all because, as you're going to see here, I'm just always going to be one shot of the Sludge Bomb before they can get to the next charge move here. So I could have just used the, like, yeah, keep the shield there. I would have been definitely a little bit better off with that one, I feel like. Like this, I'm still at least going to be able to farm all the way down with my Chinchou, which does not really help me too much, as we know already the Wooper going to be a little bit tough. So we're going to swap out into our Ducklett here. Wooper comes back in here. I can shield this move up, and I have also, of course, a Bubble Beam to debuff them. Yes, we can go ahead and go for that Bubble Beam here right now. This Bubble Beam going to do enough damage to put them into like farmland range basically. In comes Dupider. I'm going to use another Bubble Beam here, trying to force a shield from the opponent as well, and we're going to get the shield from the opponent here, which is nice. In comes Bubble Beam, and I should just stay in here at this point of time. I don't stay in here, and this was a huge mistake. That I didn't stay in there was really, really bad, and then I didn't even get my energy was even worse, because as you're going to see here right now, my opponent has a 1 HP, they win CMP against our Chinchou, and that's not all, they also win CMP against our Ducklett. So actually, I really thought that Ducklett would win CMP against the Wooper, but I guess Wooper seems to be a little bit more attack weighted than I thought. Here at least we're gonna get another duck, which is going to be very decent for us, but we're going to now get greeted by the Chikorita, which basically on the paper looks pretty decent for us, but it's actually really not. Chikorita has access to the move Body Slam as well as the move Grass Knot, and Grass Knot would knock us out from this range, and yeah, this is wild. Honestly, it's just wild. Honestly, I feel like as well that I would rather have Aerial Ace than Brave Bird onto my Ducklett here, because Aerial Ace would just give you the option to have a safe play for those scenarios where you can just go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace instead of just going for the debuffing move. So I don't know, it would be most likely a little bit better. Here I'm going to forfeit, of course, as we're going to see the next opponent horribly for us again. Chikorita, in comes Ducklett here. Ducklett going to not have the best time against our boy here, but it's also not going to be the easiest for us in general. Yeah, they're going to go shield this move up here. And at least we're going to have a CMP tie here against the opponent, feels like. As the Seed Bomb going to come through here, we're going to be able to let this move go through from the opponent. They're going to undercharge this Bubble Beam so they can get one more fast move through. Very smart decision. We're gonna go, of course, back into our Chinchou. Chinchou will be able to take any charge move coming its way. A Brave Bird still does hurt quite a bit, but of course does knock him out, as we're going to be able to swap out now into the Ducklett. In comes now the Seal, and this Seal is going to get it real. We're going to be able to go for the Bubble Beam here. Gonna be able to get the final shield of the opponent here, as we can go up and GoHub is also a very nice website, by the way. Check out GoHub. Actually, don't use GoHub, to be fair. But we're going to be able to go up and go for one Brave Bird here, and going to be able to knock out the opponent, allowing us to go for another one against the opponent's Chikorita. This will be able to knock them out, and our Ducklett is actually able to sweep endgame here, which is really nice. Or, yeah. This is going to be the final game here for us today. We're going to have a Slowpoke and, of course, our old favorite Execute. I'm still not going to be able to say this name properly, but it's fine. We will be able to go for the debuffing move against them, and we're going to be able to shield up the charge from the opponent. It's going to be the Ancient Power. Do they get the boost? They do not, and I can farm them down. Turns out I actually would be able to reach a Brave Bird against the opponent's Slowpoke here, but because I didn't know this at this point of time, I'm going to go ahead and go for the bait here. Doesn't matter, it was actually the better play because they're going to shield up anyway. And I will be able to now go ahead and go into my Chinchou again, which takes neutral damage from the opponent. They are debuffed, so I thought I can take a little bit better, but I can't. But in comes a Cottony, and our Bulbasaur is living its best here right now. We can go ahead, go for one Surge Bomb here, trying to force a shield, and we're going to be able to get that shield here from the opponent. And as they're going to go for their own Charge Move here, I can just go ahead and farm up to 100 energy basically. So I have a Seed Bomb and a Sludge Bomb stored at the same time. I have next to no HP left. But what we can do here is we can go for one more fast move and finish up this game here and also this video. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, what are you playing? Are you playing this one? Are you playing the Master League? Master League content coming tomorrow. Team that I played today was amazing, so check out tomorrow's video as well. Otherwise, please leave a like on this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!